Всем добрый вечер. Сегодня очередной стримчик от разработчиков of Creation, игры, которую я очень жду. Надеюсь, она будет хорошая. Ну и надеюсь, она в целом будет. Вот, да, можно пока остановиться на этом слове. По плану ничего не было. То есть обычно они там планируют тему стрима. В этот раз ничего не объявляли, поэтому можно предположить, скорее всего, что мы будем смотреть на новые рисунки, которые они нарисовали. Ну, обычно примерно так и бывает. Ответят на вопросы, которые уже по 100 раз отвечали. Вот. Но, конечно, всякое может произойти. Вот. Продолжаю следить. Вещать. Все-таки из, наверное, ближайших проектов все-таки Lineage2 Creation единственный. Ну, вообще, я считаю, хоть какая-то задумка есть, да, и причем очень неплохая, но в целом действительно единственная игра, в которой есть задумка, что очень радует. Но делают они все это медленно, что огорчает. Так, ждем. Вроде бы запозданий никаких не должно быть. Все будет, по идее, вовремя. Ну, как всегда, да, там, вовремя запустят, звука не будет. Ну, в общем, это нормально. К этому мы привыкли. Без этого их стрим нельзя будет назвать нормальным сам по себе. Окей, посмотрю, может быть, что-то появилось в Дискорде. Нет. Ну, Маргарет написала, что не было квестов, вопросов, которые были заданы, но учитывая, что Маргарет нам не присылала никакой... Куда надо было эти вопросы посылать, мы, конечно, и не заполняли ничего. Но она сказала, что вполне возможно в процессе стрима у нас появятся какие-то новые вопросы. Вполне возможно, стоит ожидать чего-то интересного. Ну, Маргарет, она умеет, в отличие от Стивена, поднимать интерес, так что, возможно, это даже будет неправдой. То, что она написала, что будут какие-то новые вопросы, ну, ждем. Уже второй квартал идет, напоминаю, 2019 года, а именно во втором квартале планируется старт первой альфы. Первая альфа, это которая должна была быть Апокалипс, но теперь она стала именно другой, то есть другая первая альфа, в общем. На которую по доступу могут попасть обладатели наборов с Кикстартера. То есть сейчас доступ на первую альфу уже никак не приобрести. Ну, по крайней мере, можно выиграть, возможно, но легально за деньги приобрести его нельзя. Так что не суетитесь. Так, к сказкам готов. Да, Шерши, подушечку. Не забудь. Чаек можно тоже. Не чаек. Ну, все равно сказки, не сказки. Это единственное за последние, ну, наверное, после Ла-2, так сказать, что это единственное после Ла-2 задумка, которая стоит того, чтобы на нее обращать внимание и, соответственно, следить. Потому что все остальное это что-то вроде Аира. То есть, конечно, вроде бы все красиво, воздушные бои. Что у нас там еще есть? Наземные бои. Куча квестов. Много квестов. Очень много квестов. Нереально много квестов. Ределики. И в целом, возможно, это то, что, в принципе, в игре и есть. Вот. И, в общем, если так судить, то пока Аир является, ну, обычным набором каких-то вещей, которые никакого смысла в целом глобального не могут принести в игре и совершенно никак не делают игру хоть немножечко интересной. То есть, да, занимают очень много времени, заставляют в игре проводить очень много времени, и вроде бы даже занятия есть, да, чем этим заниматься, но по-настоящему интереса, какой-то сложности в ней. Данжики это легкий контент, если что. Это казуальный контент, это дико казуальный контент данжи. Инсты, конечно. Открытые данжи, ну... Открытые данжи это скорее PvP контент, наверное. Что у нас по времени? 1 минута осталась. Посмотрим, справятся ли своей задачи сегодня интрепиды. Или же, как всегда, опоздают. Или их задача и есть опаздывать. Наверное, так. Рам-пам-пам. 00 часов, вовремя. Эмил пока нет. Неужели? Первый раз. Первый раз. Они запустили вовремя, и у них со звуком нет проблем.
Steven is self-conscious about. We recently
drilled a hole in the table.
In the hole, we recently drilled holes in the table so we could pull cables through them because Zimmerman's awesome and he's been making our studio really nice. Steven.
I'm sorry, it's on
we'll
screen.
go through introductions first. If you're new to our stream, we have a lot of fun here. Obviously, we work at a game company that's, we try our best.
В общем, пока Маргарет
запускает
волну, напоминаю, что в центре это Маргарет, новый маркетинг-менеджер, слева Джеффри, и, соответственно, Стивен справа.
Creative director at Intrepid Studio.
And I'm Jeffrey Bard, lead designer of stuff. Yay! Yeah.
Айдун.
Sorry, my brain's like over here somewhere.
Я бы сам хотел знать, они пока не будет что-то более точно, они не скажут. Так что ждем.
I like the label on that one.
So today we are going to be covering a new video. We're going to be releasing our next Dev Diary series video, and this is going to be talking about our building technology. So we'll be sharing that video, and then we'll be talking.
Так, новое какое-то видео будет, дневники разработчиков, что-то связанное с постройкой, технологии построения, если быть точнее, я не знаю, к чему это относится.
But we wanted to cover some quick update things, some things that we know that the community has been asking about. Obviously, the first thing you're always going to ask is dates. We do not have any more dates for you right now. As we said before,
То, что спросили, да, когда даты, вот пока Маргарет говорит, пока нет дат. Как только они будут уверены, что даты они их смогут выполнить, то они обязательно скажут.
Currently, that is in progress. They're working on it. I don't have a complete ETA for you yet, but soon TM. Same with forum renames. We are actually, last night we did a thing internally that we are trying to work on the back end, and we just have a couple more steps on our end to wrap that up, and then we will give you probably a 24-hour notice for renames. We'll be posting that on our support channel, so that's AOC support on our Twitter channel. We'll also post it in Discord and let people know on the forums. I think we're going to have like a ticker that goes off, and it's just going to be up there all the time.
В общем, Маргарет говорит про резервацию ника. У кого набора есть резервация ника, будет заранее все рассказано, что следите за новостями там у меня в группе или у себя на почте, в Дискорде Intrepid Studio, то есть не пропустите.
Now we get to the fun stuff that you actually really want to know about, which is the progress of the MMO. So let's start with that.
Маргарет расскажет про прогресс в ММО-игре. Пока нет, не пропустил. Всем привет тоже. Пока еще ничего интересного не было.
Some of the things that we've been working on, and we're not going to talk about all of those things, but I know y'all wanted to share some things.
Some interesting thing happened last week.
Yeah, it was kind of a milestone.
Yes, a little bit of a milestone. The first ever mayoral election for a node occurred last week.
Yeah, and it was successful, went off without a hitch.
Yes.
The system works.
Yay!
Я не понял, про что с нодами, я не понял это слово. Ну, короче, какая-то система, которые работали ребята из Intrepid Studio, у них удачно что-то сложилось, связанное с нодами. Поздравляем их. И нас поздравляем.
He did not want to show up, so we got that.
So basically, just so you guys are aware, the magistrate is an NPC that's placed within a node, and he contains most of the accessible services and systems, such as the tax rates and the questing and the building system.
Какой-то магистр, который отвечает за кучу систем в ноде.
Yeah, I think initially
he was a jerk.
He was a jerk.
He was a jerk. He was being difficult.
But we fixed it, and Jeff fixed it, and it did show up.
Yes.
So we
похоже, магистр это будет что-то вроде основного NPC в ноде, с которым будут общаться игроки или главные игроки.
The caravan crashed, it flipped on its head, and then we started
Well, to be fair, he was driving the caravan off of a...
He was driving a gigantic
boulder.
No, it wasn't boulder.
Was it a boulder?
It was a rib cage. And,
right. It was
one of the
giant
rib
cage.
cages, yeah.
And then he just kind of got stuck, and then it fell. And then physics went crazy,
right.
And we started kicking it across the map like a soccer.
В общем, караван шел. Подскользнулся, споткнулся, в общем, и вся игра крашнулась. Нормально. Нормально.
Yeah, and I think
still some things to fix.
Yes.
One of the things that I would like to do is I'm going to have some more video footage for you on live streams. That's something that we wanted to do. I actually wanted to have the caravan on this one, but we want to polish some bugs before we
make sure we have a good solid driver.
Yeah. And a better driver maybe. Oh my gosh.
Караваны двигаются, как я понимаю, по какому-то автопути, поэтому можно предположить, как работает автопути по той же самой этой Аиру. Там не все весело.
We've been hiring some new people who have been helping make some more content.
Yep.
Our game is huge, and we've been trying to put as much content in.
Speaking of which, actually, we brought on board
Это у них зависает.
A new character artist, Jen C. She is great.
She's fantastic.
And actually, she just finished, I believe, the base mesh for the Dawnbreaker.
Так, сейчас быстренько перезагружу страничку. Может быть, это...
For the Dawnbreaker, which will hopefully be showing very soon for those of you guys in Kickstarter that have the Dawnbreaker. When did the Dawnbreaker become accessible? Was it? I think it was the Braver of Worlds. I think the Braver of Worlds.
Нет, это у всех лагает.
To the Dawnbreaker skin for the mount. So as soon as that is retopped and finished, we'll probably show some.
Yeah, we're going to be showing. We have a few mounts that we're going to be showing details about, and like 3D models, and also armor pieces for some of them. So stay tuned, as well as a little bits of lore. So we'll have some articles that are going to go out with.
Пока ничего интересного нет, рассказывает про разные мелочи, полезные моменты, неполезные моменты. Ну, тем более, даже если они что-то полезное расскажут, мы все равно этого не увидим, поэтому я пока не перевожу, то есть стараюсь зацепить только то, что самое важное. Вот сейчас, например, Стивен говорил про какую-то внешку на маунта. Это неважный момент.
Access the Iron Lion society and organization, and you'll be able to achieve in-game some of the cosmetics that represent this organization and don it on your character.
Yeah. Cool.
Looks like we got a little bit of stuttering on the stream.
Stuttering?
Apparently the audio's coming through fine.
Okay, cool.
That's good.
Well, at least you can hear us. That's all. You don't need to see my face anyway.
Weird video issues and no audio issues.
I know, what's happening?
We've gone through the other side.
If you haven't noticed, though, we do have a new camera, so hopefully we're looking HD minus the stuttering. So the next thing, I guess, if you guys don't want to toss anything else out there for the MMO, we can talk a little bit about APOC and current state of APOC as well.
We also had the destruction mechanics and the character code that combines you with your caravan complete as well in last week's internal test, moving towards Alpha 1. That was cool because you could target and attack the caravan and destroy it. And we had the wreckage system, getting the loot from it implemented. What else do we do with that? We had merchant systems up and running and collecting
all the vendors, buying and selling goods.
Yep, that was all yay.
Yeah,
a lot of progress.
Ну, в общем, какие-то новые системы, лута, таргета, урона, разрушения караванов. Над чем они работают? Молодцы. Где тест? Стивен, где тест? Где на это все посмотреть? Мы согласны терпеть баги, краши и лаги. Дайте нам посмотреть на все это. Я не говорю, что альфа будет в апреле. Я говорю, что альфа будет во втором квартале. Второй квартал начинается с апреля. Точнее, так Стивен говорил. Апрель — это первый месяц второго квартала. Еще во втором квартале есть май и июнь. То есть еще 2 месяца у них есть до дедлайна.
I'm trying to see what people are saying so we can talk.
I don't even know how you can read that. It's like
I have very
his eyes of the eagle.
Great eyesight. Not close up.
It says the guy wearing glasses. I have really great eyesight.
Without the glasses, I can't see anything. But with them, I can see.
His vision is unparalleled.
Yes.
Oh,
thank you, CM Shays. Love you too, buddy.
Okay.
See.
So, someone else calls Shays something else.
Shazi?
Yeah, or Shaz.
Shazay?
Instead of Shays.
Shaz.
Tell us which one it is.
All right,
so let's move on to APOC. We talked a little bit about the MMO, and obviously one of the things that I want to do is start playing some footage of different things that we have on the live streams in the future, so stay tuned for some of that action. What about APOC? Where are we at, and what do we want to say on that front?
Маргарет спрашивает, что по поводу апокалипсиса.
Issues that we were seeing during December testing and January testing. A lot of the back-end stuff is wrapping up.
Yep, getting finalized.
So that's very good.
We're like in the last 10% of it.
Yeah.
Obviously, the last 10% usually takes the longest. But it's just buttoning up a lot of stuff, bringing up the polish level.
Polishing that player.
В общем, они разбираются с тем, что было получено в декабре и в январе. Джеффри сказал, что вроде как бы осталось 10%, и эти 10% обычно самые долгие, и они полируют уже, в общем... Последние настройки делают, и, может быть, стоит ожидать апокалипсиса скоро. Вполне возможно. Не забывайте, что все-таки главное это ММО-игра. Апокалипсис — это только мелочи. Вот. Поэтому больше у них всего на ММО уходит.
Is that
Sometimes it feels like last week it felt like that a little
Last
bit.
week it totally felt like that.
Yeah.
okay.
And
I didn't know what my name was.
Steven was posting photos of us late night. I saw the one with Jeff was like,
Yeah.
and everyone
I
else
think that
was
was
like
like-
hunched over their desk.
That was like 1 a.m. and Jeff
It was
was
2
just
a.m.
like,
at
"Where
night.
am I?
I don't
Yeah.
know.
What's
This
happening?"
This is my bed.
We haven't been doing those a lot. It's just sometimes we have like a deadline that we're trying to meet. So we
We take our
definitely try to
milestones
stick
very
to
seriously.
our milestones.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think that kind of covers most of everything that we've got going on the back end. So giving you all an update on everything on that front. Let's get into today's live stream. We're going to play a video for you first and foremost so you guys can check that out. While you're watching that, toss any questions that you have in chat. And,
В общем, сейчас должны показать видео. Что-то интересное. Смотрим.
In this 45-minute period that we've got. So throw them at us.
Bewildered nuts.
Bewildered.
Смотрим это видео. Дневники разработчиков.
I'm Devin LaFontaine. My job title is Senior Environment Artist at Trap Studios.
Чувак, который создает окружение в игре. Типа пейзажи и все такое.
Most of what I do here is focused on natural environments, so terrain, trees, grasses, that kind of stuff. I also deal a fair bit amount with lighting and also technical.
В общем, если вам не нравятся деревья, трава и все такое, вините вот этого чувака.
The housing tool was designed mostly originally as a way to make houses quickly and make them run really well. And we identified some ways in Apocalypse that we could have improved the way the buildings were set up. And in doing all of the performance improvements that we ended up doing near the end of that project, I learned a lot of things.
В общем, основная цель вначале была это просто быстро создать здание, максимально быстро. Ну и во время апокалипсиса они уже нашли несколько какие-то проблемы или недостатки или что-то еще, чтобы это менять в дальнейшем. Способы. В игре планируется 9 рас разных, не забывайте, у каждой будет свой стиль архитектурный.
These vast cities and multitudes of buildings. What Devin's been working on with this tool really allows the artist to swap in different modular pieces to create.
Поскольку ноды будут меняться не только по уровню, но и по расам, внешний вид, нужно в общем, построить какую-то базу, которая будет меняться в зависимости от каких-то статистик, наверное.
Central building within a city or the unique social organizations that exist. These will still need to be completed separate from a modular set.
So one of the things that I learned when building all the POIs in Apocalypse was the quantity of items that we had to render. And it was pretty expensive, and there's a lot of technology in Unreal that helps reduce that we wanted to start using more for the MMO. So the housing tool is very heavily reliant on some of that tech. So the first thing it had to do was be performant, so it could render lots and lots of buildings pretty easily. It also had to be easy to manage.
Основной проблемой это обработка большого количества различных деталей, включая и построек, домов и все остальное, и для этого они используют какие-то там технологии. И, в общем, вроде справились.
About working on these games is watching players discover them. So I'm really eager for the community to hop into the game and see all the stuff we've been doing because it's really fun making it and there's a lot of cool stuff that we want to share.
One of the paramount goals at Intrepid is to create the ultimate immersive experience where players, as they explore and search the far reaches of Vera, they get to experience this vast diversity and culture.
Основная цель это чтобы игроки могли погрузиться в этот мир, исследовать мир Веры и быть частью этого мира. В общем, видео было сложное, делалось целый месяц.
We hope that you all enjoyed that, and Devin did an amazing job. He's very nervous. I feel like everyone's always so nervous, and I'm like, it's gonna be fine.
I thought he did great.
He's the chillest cat in the world.
Yeah.
People constantly are like, he's like Bob Ross, because he's like has that really like chill voice, you know.
He's a very calming presence.
Yeah. but he speaks well, I think, and you know, loves what he does, and
He's damn good at it.
yeah, I mean, looking at the environments that we have right now and seeing how beautiful they are, I think he does a really good job with what he does. Obviously, we wouldn't have him here otherwise.
Yeah.
And I've gotten to work with Devin for like a really long time, like 13 years.
Yeah, you guys were at
So-
SOE together, right?
Yeah. So he's good people. So let's talk a little bit about the building technology tool. And if you all have questions in chat, you can go ahead and toss them in there. You can ask us other questions. We'll try to answer those as well. But we did talk a little bit about the MMO earlier prior to that. So I don't know if you want to start or if you want to start.
Sure. I mean, so one of the great things about, you know, that tool and what the environment team, you know, is creating in Ashes of Creation. I mean, you guys see the environments within the game, right? And that's all in-game footage, everything you're seeing there, or it's in editor, right? The building of the actual asset
Which is
itself,
effectively in-game.
Which is effectively in-game, correct. You know, we definitely are pushing the limits, I think, and Unreal Engine is a great engine to help us do that. And, you know, what we want to be able to do is make sure that we can create in a timely manner, you know, all the necessary assets that have to go into creating these nodes, these cities, right? And we don't want them to feel like a lot of the other games that we've played as players where we see the same asset over and over again, right? And that kind of gets unimmersive, you know, when you see the same building over again.
Подводя итоги всего того, что Стивен сказал, и тому, что будущее скажет, основная цель, чтобы перед игроками что-то новое постоянно происходило. Точка. Менялось там окружение. Раньше вы проходите мимо этого дома, он красный, а сегодня вы проходите, он почему-то синий, и вы обращаете на него внимание.
Allowing the artist to quickly come up with a wide range of buildings to fill these
and
cities
easily
with.
adjust them too.
Right.
Or if we get new assets, being able to plop them in wherever they feel necessary.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically, you know, we're building a big world, and we're building a world that grows on its own, right? And so we need lots and lots of assets to fill that world. And if each artist has to create, you know, their own stuff from scratch, from the ground up every single time, we'll be here until 2030, right? Like that would be how we'd have to do
Масс
it.
БВП, антидот Николаевич, масс ПВП, просто сделать это недостаточно. То есть, во-первых, нужно мотивированное ПВП, соответственно, мотивированное ПВП может быть только если кто-то что-то получает, другой кто-то что-то теряет именно. Чтобы был интерес, массовость, должна быть казуальная составляющая, то есть чтобы люди могли отдыхать в игре, аж не так, как в Влад 2 это было. Вот. И это большая работа. Но пока все это заявлено и есть. Вот. Поэтому стоит посмотреть, что получится.
Windows, change out the roof, change out the, you know, gutters along the sides, a crown molding inside the interior, you know, change out, exactly, change out, you know, aspects that kind of make it unique and allow you to customize something.
В общем, походу, сегодняшний стрим называется «Внешний вид окружения в игре, внешний вид строений и как мы это создаем». Мне кажется, такой стрим уже когда-то был.
Right now, they would take over the entire skin of the house. So they're not individual modular pieces. They're not built that way. And again, that's sort of so we can get that effect, right? Like, you know, a necromancer's crypt looks a very specific way, and we want it to look a very specific way. So
now that's not to say that that's not to say now that, you know, the environment team, as they're building the necromancer's crypt, that they're not going to compartmentalize pieces of it that could then be
reused somewhere else,
right? You know, that's kind of the approach on a modular system where when you're creating an asset, you're not one-offing the entire asset. You're creating it to the confines of the modular system so that you can reuse those elements elsewhere that won't represent a necromancer's crypt again, but instead may use the window seal of it, or may use, you know, the gargoyle on top of it, you know, something like that.
And when you go back and you look at the video, and we'll see that coming up here soon as well, is you see all the pieces that Devin was panning.
Опять же, вкратце только что они разговаривают о том, чтобы делать Ctrl-C, Ctrl-V предметов.
These complex systems, like right here, you're watching him build, you know, and he's adjusting the roofing and adding little windows in the shingles. Like there's all kinds of little tiny intricate things that he's doing very, very quickly, and allowing us to have so much variety. I mean, we have so many nodes that need to be built, and especially if we want you to make it feel like every single time you go and create a new, city, that it's different, that this is accomplishing that goal.
Right. I mean, I guess you'd want to think about, as a player, when was the last time you played an MMORPG that had 9 unique, distinct races in it, right?
Yeah.
I personally can't think of many.
I can think of a few. But...
I can think of a couple, but not to the degree I think of distinction that we're aiming for between our 9 races, right?
Yeah.
That's really.
Here's the panning over the
So what you're seeing here is the modular set, right? So these are the individual.
Нет, я, конечно, все понимаю, что они пытаются сказать, что очень круто, что они делают 9 различных культур. Это просто шикарно. И даже если не во всех играх есть 9 культур, ну возьмем там немного игр, где есть 9 культур, ну есть там 3, 4, 7, возможно. Где-то даже больше. Ну не в таком количестве, но все равно. Но эти игры не такие интересные из-за того, что там красиво все. То есть это не самый, в общем, важный элемент в игре, я бы так сказал, мягко.
It's really more about, this tool is mainly for us to develop the game, right? So what this tool allows us to do is have tons and tons of different variants, right? Where, we work from a base tile set basically, and then create a ton of different things. So the longer that this tool works and the the more we can pull out of it.
ОБТ не будет, ребят, будет ЗБТ и сразу релиз. Соответственно, ЗБТ, ну и, конечно, на релиз будет платный доступ, как и на ЗБТ. Когда начнется, пока еще непонятно. Ждем первой альфы, там будет видно.
Make sure that the game performance is still really good for you all, so that you can play it on ultra graphics and not feel like it's your CPU's like help and sounding like that PC over there.
Yeah,
I don't know if you guys can
hear that.
That's a really great point, Mark. Like there is, when you're creating one-off assets, each one of those one-off assets kind of needs to be loaded into memory like on its own, right?
Yeah.
But since these are all sort
По
of
факту старт разработки игры начинается не после Кикстартера, после итога Кикстартера. Как только они собрали деньги, да, вот после этого можно считать отчет начала разработки. Да, там Стивен говорил, что у него есть какие-то деньги. Это, понятное дело, мало для разработки игры. Вот, и тем более мало было очень людей. Поэтому то, что они вначале создают до Кикстартера, это ни о чем. То есть это просто показать, как это будет. Даже не то, что как это будет выглядеть, а просто дать повод задонатить, купить, помочь и так далее.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and also I think a lot of this too is, what you're seeing here is Devin is creating this, but we also have a process that lets it automatically do that, which isn't as cool to see, obviously, but procedurally creating some of these houses, right? So that it's not just someone going in and tweaking every little bit and piece. So it's procedurally creating a house, and then they can go back and tweak things and just make it,
artistic.
Ну, это я говорю, что мало. Не, Стивен сказал, что у него хватит на всю игру. Понятное дело, это было возможно на какие-то более долгие сроки, с маленьким количеством разработчиков. Тот же самый Блеск, сколько там, 60 миллионов, да, то есть или там 50 миллионов потратили, это нормально. Понятное дело, они не все использовали деньги полностью. Или, может быть, действительно не хватило им, я думаю, скорее всего, первое все-таки, но мало ли. Вот, поэтому для разработки нормальной ММО-игры требуется, очень-очень много денег. Это не только зарплата тем, кто создает, но и системы, и аренда системы, и движки, и так далее, и так далее, и так далее. И все это очень затратно. Есть. Если посадить на 15 рублей, нормально ничего не сделают.
these aspects of themselves and creating tools has been really exciting for me personally, getting to see them do something they're really passionate about and thinking about the longevity of the project and how much further we have to go, and how quickly we need to.
One of the awesome things obviously is seeing, you know, these guys with their vast experience, Bacon, Tad, Devin, Nate, Ryan, Tristan, you know, they all have an incredible amount of experience, and being able to come together and jive well with each other and you know, move this project forward from just a high visual fidelity standpoint in the environments is something that we've loved.
Возможно, да, в БДО, в принципе, кроме визуальной составляющей, в принципе, особо ничего нет. Поэтому, может быть, хорошо, что они так много времени уделяют именно визуальной, и если бы они еще подтянули побольше, было бы вообще круто. Но, правда, здесь никаких... То есть они хотят канон сохранить, то есть женские персонажи будут ходить более-менее в доспехах, да, то есть не будет такого, как всяких Blade&Soul и подобных игр, где на воинов совершенно никто не похож.
Did not get a chance to a couple of weeks ago. I did do a few rounds of interviews with a few of our content creators, Agilos, DCN Network, Jalan and the Paradox, the Golden Feather, and Simurg. You guys can jump on our Twitter at Ashes of Creation.
We have the Ashes of Creation Twitter.
Oh yeah, that's right. Margaret managed to actually.
Стивен сказал, да, на прошлой неделе, когда там Стивен провел несколько интервью с контент-креаторами. Вот. Ну и какую-то, может, информацию вы там узнаете. Я даже не вижу смысла хоть что-то слушать, потому что ничего нового там не будет, это понятное дело. Привет, J7. Нет, в принципе, ничего не было. Вообще.
It was very refreshing for me to hear those questions and not a lot of the repeat questions that we obviously get, you know, on a lot of the threads, which is okay. Repeat questions have to happen. There are new people that come in.
We try different ways. Like some streams we gather Q&A, some streams we want to just get Twitch Q&A. So we're going to kind of play around and see what we find is good, but we do want variety. And yeah, the content creators, we are going to be doing some more stuff like that in the future, so stay tuned. Probably try to spread the love to other content creators too. So
my favorite question I think that I got asked was, besides video games, what do you like to do in your spare time?
Was that on the Golden Feather?
It was on the Golden Feather.
You were just like caught up. You were like,
My answer was board games. I couldn't think of
Board
anything,
games.
honestly. But anyways, no,
Скучные игры или игры кабанов.
It's on our Twitter. I think we put it on our forums as well and Facebook, and I think I even posted on Reddit. So all the links should be there for you to easily grab. And I think I even put them into a playlist. So yeah,
так, 30 минут, ноль информации.
Check out what Stephen had to say. There were he went into some nitty-gritty about certain things. Everyone had a variety of things that they wanted to talk about, so that was cool. All right, let's get to the questions here. Make sure that you're tossing them in chat. Looks like I have a good amount now, but we still need more. This is not enough. I don't think you understand, man. We can get through some questions. All right, first we have from Cadewin was wondering, will there be certain unique traits we can choose and obtain in-game? For example, birth sign, background, like a scholar or outlaw, etc. And so this like reminds me of D&D. It would be nice if they give small amounts of boost. For example, if someone has a trait of intelligence, they get +2 int. That's kind of OP though.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know about the power traits. I mean, obviously they're going to be progressive traits that you can accomplish, right? Through building out your character and progressing. But I think more to the point, you know, there's going to be a lot of subtle things that you can achieve from a role play standpoint, you know, to better identify your character and kind of customize it. That's kind of the intricacies we want to have available in the game in some systems.
Sort of we want, like,
спросили, будет ли какой-то уникальный отличие или возможности, я не знаю, которые будут давать статы, но Стивен сказал, это скорее будет внешний вид.
Probably won't take the form in the way that you're talking about it specifically, which is like, you know, the D&D kind of like, this is my history before I came to the world.
Right.
What I've seen some other games do is they actually just have like, it doesn't affect you stat-wise, but they'll give you like a sheet where you can write your own background story. People can click on it and read it.
Oh, we'll certainly
which
have
is kinda
that.
Cool.
That will be a
Yeah,
that will
which I
definitely
thought was
be a
really
part.
fun. I think DDO did that.
Yeah,
I really loved it.
And we, our plans, even from a web account standpoint, is to have those viewable, if you should choose, for other people to kind of
On
see
your profile.
in your profile.
Oh
Exactly.
man. Game to web stuff just stresses me out. I'm like,
Короче,
how anxiety just thinking about
Возможно,
it.
будет
I want it, but I'm
возможность
also stressed
посмотреть
out.
историю игроков. То есть, если ты ее открываешь, типа, чего ты достиг, что ты делал и так далее, в игре, твои достижения, если ты... Ну, вроде бы Стивен уже говорил с Джеффри, что вот эти функции, они будут включаемые и не включаемые. То есть не будет по дефолту, что ты можешь посмотреть эквип персонажа или там... и так далее, и так далее. То есть это будет либо ты можешь разрешить, либо этого в принципе не будет.
Choose to build appear in between stages, or if they only appear after the node pops to the next stage.
They appear in the stage that you construct them in. So let's say we're stage 3 and we're building a library. It will appear in that stage if you guys fulfill the requirements for building.
Right. Yeah. So basically, the mayor makes this choice. There's a period of time between that choice being chosen and it actually appearing as a building site, right? And that building site will then have some specifications and requirements on behalf of the populace, the citizens, and even outside non-citizens, if they want to participate, to achieve construction.
Right.
Yeah, and that all occurs within.
But yeah,
the
you
stage.
don't have to wait for it to go to the next level to see the results of those buildings.
To upgrade to the next stage of each specific building. For instance, like the college moves up until it's a university, right? At the different stages. But that is specific to a stage.
So
that would be different.
That's the main building. The main building is different. That's not a mayor-elected construction site. The main building will automatically progress with each stage development.
Okay.
I think the question was more in reference to like the mayor has choices on building sites of like specific like
So
build apartments or build a shop or whatever.
Gotcha.
Then he can elect that construction site to be.
Perfect. So the mayor would be the one.
Right.
Good question. We are going to have.
В общем, вопрос был про выбор зданий на каждом уровне нода. Есть основные здания, что-то вроде там библиотеки и так далее, которые обязательно будут в ноде, и, возможно, их надо будет строить. То есть они не сразу появляются с повышением уровня нода, то есть надо будет их сначала построить, выполнить там квесты, таскать камни и так далее. А те здания, которые будут доступны для выбора мэру, соответственно, они, возможно, с уровнем нода будут пропадать, и по новой надо будет строить.
So if you're talking about freeholds, which is what I assume you're talking about, there's a decent amount of it. Again, the whole freehold system is about sort of your plot of land. It's not a housing system, right? It's like a building system. And you get to slot and play Tetris and try to find good synergies between the different buildings you have with kind of the end result that you want. If you want it to be a role-playing area, or if you want it to be, a processing area, or if you want to build a factory. Like,
exactly. I was just going to say, like, you don't actually have to build a house. You could decide to build, like, I want to be a blacksmith. I want to be the blacksmith, and that's my main focus. So all the things that I'm going to build are going to help make my blacksmithing better, right?
And I'll have my house in the apartments of that node or something along those lines.
Yeah.
But from a customization standpoint, right, like part of what this building tech you just saw in the video is the movement towards us allowing players to customize specifics within those buildings.
So my blacksmith might look different than your blacksmith, right?
And give you that identity, not just from, this is Margaret's freehold, but from like, oh, that's Margaret's blacksmithery, right? Like I can tell this building is unique because of the accents that she's chosen from the potential customization on these buildings.
The actual layout of it will remain the same, right? The layout won't change because the layout's important.
Мне интересно, сколько мест будет доступно под фрихолду. То есть сейчас рассказ про уникальность земельных участков. Вот, и будет ли это как в Архейдже, что будет все занято, либо будут какие-то ограничения, может на аккаунт, скорее всего на аккаунт, да, одно будет. один
Rabbit
земельный
Games wants to
участок,
know,
но
will there
сколько
be
же
any
будет
race
свободно или
crossover
занято
for
мест?
buildings? Basically, a way for architects to show
Хотя, учитывая,
that a node
что
is made
ноды можно будет
up
ломать,
of
то
as
все
many
это
elms
может
or as
поменяться, и, в
dwarves.
принципе, не будет как в
Interesting.
Архейдже,
So I
что
think
ты
each
поставил,
node
и
is
все.
going to be
The node will
Всегда
specific
владеешь
to
этой
a
территорией,
the
по
node
большому счету.
itself will be specific to a race. One race will be ascendant, and that will be the kind of culture of that
The
race.
ascendant race.
The outside, like again, the freeholds that you're building outside can be, accented based. You don't have to stay within your race in terms of accenting. Correct?
Correct.
Yeah. So yes, you could make that kind of give the feel of it, but the node itself always looks to one race as being that ascendant.
Right.
But your freehold, you can choose what you want
Right.
it to look like.
В
It does
общем,
not have to match the
ноды
node.
будут выглядеть
Right,
так,
correct.
как
And you could have
в зависимости
there.
от самой популярной расы, от той расы, которая больше популярна в этом ноде,
It will be very interesting.
была при апгрейде. То
Our
есть
next question is from Crystal Surface, who wants to
земельные
know,
участки,
are there any
фрихолды,
plans for maybe
можно
giving
выбирать
access to the building
любую
creation
стилистику,
tool
и
to
они будут
others?
выглядеть как
Maybe the
угодно.
community can also do some individual designs which can be used by Intrepid. I'm thinking of community building challenges, for example. I think I did something like this at another company that I worked at.
That would be cool. I mean, it obviously it requires us,
That would be really hard to do.
playerizing the tool,
Mhm.
right? So taking it out of the editor and putting it into a module, a module that the
Its
player
own-
can download its own, kind of like a character creation suite.
Its own app.
It would
Yeah.
have to be a building creation suite. If there is time and there is, interest from the community, which I imagine there would be, it would be great to have.
Mhm.
I think it would be really cool. You could do contests with it and create buildings, and we could use those buildings in game and stuff like that. That'd be awesome. But right now, that's not on the roadmap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it might
It
also
would
be,
take some doing to turn
Yes.
that into that.
and I also think like the housing stuff could also change as we progress down the years.
Вопрос
too.
про
So maybe down the line,
какие-то
like, the first thing you get is, like, you're getting, like,
контесты,
pieces and putting them together,
конкурсы
like,
по
like that's
самому
right.
красивому
But later down
дому.
the line, maybe it is you're moving
так
walls
важно.
around and stuff like that down the line. I
Пока
think
они сказали,
obviously
что, возможно, это будет, возможно, даже будет возможность создать дом, и чтобы он был в игре. Ну, то есть его будет... Этот внешний вид будут использовать в игре.
Yeah,
Plans for post
Вот,
launch, something like that. would be
но
great.
пока это не самое важное.
Additionally, I mean, from a creation standpoint, one of my great desires is to incorporate a creature character suite, basically, where summoners and or animal husbandry or pets, you can customize the look of your creature. That would be great, and so that way you can be identified uniquely by, I know that this is this guy's horse. Like I've seen that guy before. His hooves are like 5 times the size of the horse. No, I'm just kidding. but like, there's something
But why?
great. But there's
Giant hooves.
but
better for smashing.
the idea there is
What
to
happened to your
give
horse?
the character as much uniqueness and customization that's possible. And that won't be.
Сейчас Стивен говорит про очередной, как бы у них весь стрим, да, про внешку, по большому счету. Вот сейчас он затронул разговор про саммонера, и я, поскольку планирую все-таки саммонером играть, я хочу, чтобы саммоны нормально делали то, что я говорю, чтобы были настроены, и чтобы не ломались по пути, когда идут к цели. Чтобы их можно было контролировать. И вообще, чтобы не как в Ла 2, типа основной персонаж саммонера почти никак не дополняет.
You cannot build houses from scratch.
At least not from launch.
You can use pieces to accent them. You can change a lot of stuff about it and sort of like how it's built, but the buildings themselves will have their own footprint.
Yeah, you'll get a blueprint that you can utilize.
Сначала будет альфа-тест, ЗБТ не скоро.
Then you can accent that with different other buildings.
Right.
And attributes and things of that sort.
Сейчас пока еще pre-альфа идет, то есть даже еще альфа первая не началась.
I don't know if I'm saying your name right. Wants to know what
Официально.
housing/decor editing features will be available in Ashes of Creation. Specifically, one, will players be out? I'm going to ask each of these separate. Will players be able to rotate decor in all 3 directions?
Yes,
They should be.
yes,
That would be weird if we didn't.
right.
2, will players be able to free place items and enter specific coordinations on the XYZ plane, including the ability to place decor up in the air without anything underneath them? Ooh.
Probably not. I don't know about the XYZ.
It would be nice if it could.
Yeah, that'd be great.
That
It's a different.
In EQ2, I'm letting you know, people built some crazy stuff out of weird things.
Oh yeah.
Like they built shitters.
Oh my gosh,
Shutters.
Margaret!
They also
Do
built-
we
they
have
also built
the
shitters,
adult
so-
setting on for the stream?
They also built toilets though, but they built
Wow.
like
Она сказала
shutters out
shitters?
of like weird
Lol.
pieces,
Oh
like
my
chopsticks, and like
gosh.
they put plates like
Oh, yeah,
at a
no,
weird
those guys were
angle. Like
super
I'm
creative.
just like, what?
Super creative with their toilet.
Yeah.
The toilet.
Маргарет разговаривала про туалеты. Я думаю, что такое
Also,
шитерс.
shutters.
Это вообще, я как понял, это сральник.
Oh my
В прямом
gosh. Okay,
переводе.
next question. So
Потому
our
что
answer is
shit.
yes, right?
So,
Это можно
yes,
еще
for-
сказать как занавеска
Yes,
или
for the
там
free
листок
placements, we don't know
какой-то.
about the, X, Y, Z.
Floating
Yeah.
objects makes Steven feel uncomfortable apparently.
Wow.
No, I'm just kidding.
No. I think it's great.
So-
I think it'd be cool.
Yeah, it's just it should be pretty doable, but it's just about like what the knockoff effects of that are.
And you'll have a max height ceiling on your plot land too, right? Like you can't go beyond that.
Можно заранее, по-моему,
Yeah,
заканчивать.
Yeah,
Опять
there'll be confined.
вопросы.
And then our third question here is, will players be able to scale the size of decor? And if so, will size scaling be limited to a specific size range, like in Rift, or have an essential unlimited? I think they're all specific, right?
Yeah,
Because
they'll be
that's
specific.
part of the
Scaling
technical
gets
thing.
weird. Weird stuff happens when you scale objects beyond what they're supposed to be at. It's something we'll have to look into. We'll certainly explore that
Because that
we can
changes
get,
textures and animations too on objects if they.
and we can get more use out of objects if we can scale them. But obviously, there definitely will be constraints on them. There will be things that we don't want to go beyond a certain size.
Yeah, I think internally we can do that.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
sure, 'cause
Можно
the
ли будет
attributes
увеличивать
and
или
all that stuff.
уменьшать
It's just a matter of
предметы
looking at it.
бесконечно?
Yeah, we
Джеффри
wanna
сказал,
make sure
что
that,
нет,
you know,
потому
things
что
make sense.
при уменьшении
Yeah,
или
versions
при увеличении,
as well,
особенно при
like,
увеличении,
you know,
происходит много
we
странных
want these
вещей,
assets
поэтому
to
будут
exist within
какие-то
certain
ограничения.
confines,
Ну,
so
в
that
целом,
represent
как и почти в любой
Well, and my
игре,
thought was, like, the way that
у
the
каждого
free
предмета
world
будут
in general is
какие-то
that they're very
ограничения
much, like,
по
your job
размеру,
is to
возможно, даже
put things
ограничения,
in a
где
space.
можно
So
ставить,
if
то
things
есть,
got
ну,
bigger than that
чтобы не
space,
было
then you would not be able to-
нарушено
you know what I mean?
логической цепочки и
the
для
power
простоты
change.
для многих.
We
Ну
also
вот,
worry about collision and all that stuff.
Yeah.
чтобы не
So
ставить
our next
туалет на
question here is
крышу,
from Jay Alabaster asking, will the
как
player
Маргарет сказала.
stalls, kiosks be modular and customizable for the player?
There will definitely be flags for items you can have represented at your kiosk.
Like on the counter.
Like
and,
on the
yeah.
counter, potions,
cool,
scrolls,
yes.
weapons, and armor, shields, stuff like that. So you can kind of, you know, it's a great indicator also for prospective buyers as they're moving through the market area. They look at kiosks and they can say, oh, I know they're selling weapons over here, or they're selling armor or whatnot. Those are definitely going to be components that we want to have flaggable for the player.
We also have to keep in mind that all this stuff is in the open world, and we have to be a little bit careful about all the stuff that we put in them.
I love it. I'm excited. Okay, Blamey wants to know, to what extent the buildings will be destructible during the siege? Completely.
So I think there's actually a
Right.
video that you're going to be showing sometime in the future.
Sometime in the future, yes.
Yes,
They're
about-
finalizing some of the tech for it. I think we were wanting to tease it before, but we still have to make sure that
Вопрос,
Yeah,
до
but
какого
performance,
уровня будут
yeah.
разрушаться
Performance is
здания,
amazing.
но
Show you something really cool.
мы же знаем,
You
что
know, and
при
you're like, "Yeah,
поражении
what's happening?" And then we
все
find
здания
out it's
вообще
like that
пропадают
specific
полностью.
way is just
Ну,
not
может быть,
exactly
есть какой-то период,
Part of it comes down to really
когда можно ограбить, да, и
that
получить
destruction
дополнительный лут,
physics
но
to
по
other
факту
clients on the server, right?
все
You have
будет
to
полностью
make
пропадать,
sure
и нот
that,
становиться
you know,
нулевого
piece of the
уровня.
building
Возможно, он
falls
больше никогда не станет даже
somebody.
первым.
Everybody needs to know where that piece is
Вот.
Oh my gosh, you need to be
А
able to run. you
при
know,
победе,
very
но
fast.
такой
Exactly.
тяжелой
Becomes
победе,
really-
возможно,
that's
да,
like
здания
a
будут
workout.
разрушаться
Yeah,
частично.
so destructibility
Посмотрим.
of buildings, yeah, completely destructible.
On my tombstone, got hit by pieces.
Не, он сказал полностью,
Did not,
все-таки
did not see it
разрушается.
because did not replicate.
Ну, об этом уже говорили, что это довольно
So I
тяжелый
guess, do you want me to talk
процесс,
any bit further about that, like how
очень
the extent of buildings being destructible?
тяжелая механика,
What are- what are what we
частично,
want versus,
чтобы
like,
разрушалось,
where-
выборочно.
Поэтому
Поэтому пока решили упростить все это.
Right? The first is the way it's traditionally been done is that you have a building mesh, right? And the building has hit points. And you incrementally set a period in where you swap that mesh out for a further destructed state based on the hit point degradation that the building has. We've seen that in a lot of games we played, you know, in Lineage 2, I remember always seeing, you know, the side of the castle wall as it took damage. I would watch that
Привет,
giant
Nimiho.
mesh swap
Что-нибудь
out for the
говорили
new
про
mesh that has the
Разное?
hole in it, right? And that would be kind of how you would do destruction. Nowadays, what we're looking at is, you know, and what's going to be shown in the video is something that is more indicative of real destruction, right? Where you have impact physics, and, you know, where the projectile hits the target or where the skill hits the target.
Что это? Нет, пока еще ничего не говорили. Сегодня, можно сказать, про внешку только говорят. Сегодня только внешка, больше ничего. К сожалению. Привет, Лихан. Про дату осад нет. Стивен с Джеффри сказали, что последние 10% остались апокалипсиса, то есть они полируют, и вроде бы уже скоро, возможно, по новой запустят. Они просто не хотят заранее говорить, пока не будут на 100% уверены. Ждем. Никакой информации сегодня не было, к сожалению.
So the idea behind sieging is that we talked about it a bit, but just a really quick recap is that when a siege period gets declared, you know, there's a period of time for the defender and attackers to prepare post-declaration, and then there's the siege itself. During the siege, yes, buildings can be destroyed. They can be targeted. Let's say the attackers are going to, you know, they've decided that they're going to lose the siege. They're not going to win. So what instead they've decided to do is shift their focus on destroying essential buildings, basically. Scorched earth kind of strategy. If we can't, you know, have it, then neither can you, kind of thing. Now it'll take time to repair. There's certain mechanics that are available.
Ну вот Стивен говорит, что в том случае, когда нод побеждает, то есть будет уже известно, что нод точно побеждает, и, соответственно, полного разрушения не будет, то нападающие могут переключиться на разрушение зданий, чтобы потом жителям нода пришлось восстанавливать разрушенные постройки, дома и так далее, и так далее.
You know, especially if they're competing with, let's say, another node or something. And then with regards to freeholds can only be attacked and destroyed should the node lose the siege. So if a node loses the siege, there's a period of time within that node's zone of influence, its purview, its territorial purview, where freeholds that exist out in the territories, they become vulnerable for a number of hours. And players can defend their freehold, and freeholds have hit points, and the individual buildings on the freeholds have hit points and whatnot, similar to the node. And then once that period of time is complete, those number of hours are done, the freehold becomes invulnerable again. Now, that freehold doesn't exist any longer under potentially under a village or higher node because its node was destroyed. There will be a grace period of a number of probably up to, you know, depending on the size of the node that it was previously under, up to 2 weeks where a new node could spawn and they could again be under the purview of a node and be okay. If not, then the freehold will disappear. They'll save their interior decor items and they'll get the schematics back. They'll, you know, get a portion of the materials back and they'll be able to go lay their freehold down on a new node.
Ну, в общем, Стивен рассказал про механики во время осад, про фрихолды, то есть, если после разрушения нода, как я понимаю, в течение 2 недель новый нод, которого разрушили, не сможет развиться до определенного уровня, или вообще, в принципе, не сможет развиться, то этот фрихолд будет возвращен игроку в инвентарь, и ему придется строить его в другом месте.
Instead of the sieging, it's when a stage increases, and this is from Akumara198 asking, how are you going to deal with the updating node level from a town into a city in real time when the MMO is live? So I think a lot of people have actually been asking, like, what does this
в реальном
look
времени
like?
будет апгрейдиться
So I
нод?
have a city, and now it is, or I have a town, and now it's going to be built into a city. Does this happen like this, or are things slowly building? Do walls get taken? Like, how does it look to a player, right?
Currently, the way it works in
it's all real time.
Yeah, it's all real time. Currently, if you're in, let's say, the node and it advances,
it just
it checks. So first, the system checks: are you in a spot that is collision?
Is it bad?
Is it a bad spot? If you are, the system will move you to a safe area, and then the node will spawn. Now, what we'd like to do before we get into probably Alpha 2 is we'd like to convert that process into something that's a little bit more organic.
And more cinematic feeling.
Exactly,
Yeah.
right. So it makes sense, like, maybe there's, builders start to appear and, like, construction sites go up, and it's
В общем,
an hour or 2 hours.
В принципе, как и я говорил, что при повышении нода до более высокого уровня, это, во-первых, будет в реальном времени. На данный момент это все моментально. Система проверяет, находитесь ли вы там, где будет построено какое-то новое здание. Если да, то вас перекидывают в безопасное место. Если нет, то вам наплевать. И просто нод превращается из более мелкого в более большой. В принципе, все просто. Но по плану это сделать более красочно, начнут появляться какие-то рабочие, строить, увеличивать, да, чтобы это был какой-то процесс. Ну, посмотрим. То есть это не будет во время каких-то профилактических работ.
A little bit of the above, yeah. But there will be some things that you must go hunt for, and there will be some things that you can craft, and there will be some recipes that you'll have to hunt for. Yes. But we want to have a whole variety of stuff that you can, when we talk about EQ2, right? Yeah. Their housing system was fantastic, and there was so much stuff to be able to well, yeah, that's it. There's so much stuff to kind of like populate a house with and really be creative, and we want to make sure that ability to be creative is something that you guys have.
I mean,
right?
One of the favorite systems that I played, and a lot of you guys know I played this game, I played Arcade, right?
Yeah, I liked Arcade.
And I loved the housing decor system in Arcade. I thought it was cool. Great, hilarious story that happened to me one time. What?
One of my favorite stories.
So I would often sit AFK in Marion Opal, right? And, people would drive me away on a tractor. They'd capture me with a tractor and they'd drive me off and kidnap me.
Свин рассказывает, как в Архейдже, когда он АФКшил, его возили на тракторе.
I left my computer on that evening, as people often did. And I came back in the morning, and my character, which was previously in Marion Opal, I had found myself in the middle of this house. And I swear to God, there was no door in that house. There's no door or window. It was, I don't know what it was. Maybe it was
Стивен остался в Мариуполе, но очутился в доме, в котором не было ни дверей, ни окон.
I'm telling you the truth. You have to ask my guild. Anyways, I think I took screenshots. Okay. But I was in this house running around, and I'm like, I don't know how to get out. I guess I'm just gonna open up a portal or whatever and waste a stone. This is like something I didn't necessarily want to do. Anyways, in the middle of the house, there was this table. And there was a chair at the table. This is all that was in the house. There was a table and there was a chair. And on the table was a pistol. I thought it was the coolest thing.
Someone was trying to send you a message.
I know. I thought it was the coolest thing I'd ever seen.
Стивена на тракторе увезли из Мариуполя.
But I thought it was awesome. And that type of
и оставили в доме, где нет ни дверей и ни окон. И в доме был только стол, стул и на столе пистолет. Это серьезно, это действительно крутая история. Я, правда, не знаю, в Архейдже был ли пистолет вообще или нет. Возможно, было, не знаю, какой-нибудь декоративный.
We actually made a beer pong table with cups, because you could move cups around and stuff. And so we would do the /roll, and that's how we chose, how we did the beer pong, and it was really fun.
That's cool.
But we did a lot of stuff like that, where it was just,
Ну, учитывая, что на
MMORPG
БДО до сих пор на высоком месте, как бы окей.
We'll have to make an ale pong table.
We will. That'll be one of our parlor games.
Yeah, that'd be great. Ale pong.
Okay, we gotta move on to the next question. Sorry, we get a little too into it. Our next question is from Shoxer22 asking, are there any buffs or advantages for having a house/building? And kind of, not buffs, but advantages, kind of.
Yeah, well, I mean,
because you can do stuff.
In order to be a successful processor, right? You're going to want to have some kind of industry on your freehold, right? And the freehold is what kind of allows you to do those things efficiently, right? So that's a big part of that. You will also, when we talk about...
Будут какие-то преимущества за владение территорией или недвижимостью.
If you go hunting, you eat some food in the end, you go out and have hunting, you get this in-influence.
And that's one of the key business mechanics.
В общем, если вы хотите делать какой-то бизнес, то, конечно, без этого никак.
Business establishments on freeholds. Taverns are one example that we've used in that food that you just described. giving a buff when in proximity to that freehold. So if you're hunting in an area, you know, your real estate location is actually something in the game.
Right.
Yeah, that exists.
And then also, like, in terms of, like, if you have a freehold, that means you're a citizen, right? And if you're a citizen, you get certain advantages over other people who are a part of that node. So, so yeah, I mean, it gives you all sorts of stuff.
I see
Not just cosmetic.
someone in chat named Cameron. Oh, Cameron. Cameron.
It's okay.
Has a question he's been posing a few times. He says, can you guys touch on a little bit what you want naval combat to be like in AOC? It's been a while since we've touched on that. Yeah, it has been a while. I think it would be cool to kind of touch on it a little bit. I mean,
Sure.
Obviously...
It's a long time from now.
It's okay. Yeah, no, for sure. It is a while from now, obviously.
Yeah.
But the ideas behind, you know, what we want to accomplish in naval combat is, obviously, we want classes of ships that exist, right? And those classes will have a different amount of material requirements in order to construct those in a dry dock space, right, from land. One of the key components we talked about, and I talked about it on a couple weeks ago, one of the streams I remember, is that if you win a battle at sea, you know, we don't want the ability for the opposing team to just be able, that lost the battle, to respawn their ships out in the middle of the water. That never really felt good to me in the games that I played that have had, you know, sea-based battles available. Instead, there should be a penalty where they have to respawn from land and then come back out
to a harbor.
and go to harbor. Exactly.
В общем, возможности вызывать корабль
Yeah, right. Or you respawn when you're
в море не будет. По крайней мере, Стивен говорит, что ему не нравится это, только в доке можно будет вызвать корабль.
When it comes to rewarding a person for successfully winning a combat,
we want those combats to feel like there is an end to
Exactly.
it, right? Like, it's not just this, I'm respawning, and then when I get bored, I stop, right?
Yes.
It should be like
Мне нравится то, что вот одна из причин, да, потому что они понимают, что вот этот респаун, как в Revelation, просто начинает скучно. То есть каждая победа должна именно быть не только с целью, она должна быть эмоционально очень... Или поражение, да, эмоционально сильно влияет на человека.
Where you can always resummon that dry dock and add new components to it, right, to make it stronger and better. It'll maintain the same class, right, same schematic and whatnot, but you'll reconstitute the ship and refit it basically with better material or better systems
as you discover them.
Yeah.
All right, we got a few more here. I think we've got 3 more. We'll try to get through these. Unknown System Error wants to know, since freehold skins were part of the package, how will those integrate?
Ну, в общем, про корабли Стивен сказал, что твой корабль, который у тебя был, не обязательно новый покупать, ты можешь просто собрать ресурсы и усиливать его, усиливать в доке и, соответственно, на нем плавать. Основная цель. Соответственно, скорее всего, надо будет открывать дополнительные рецепты, да, чертежи для улучшения кораблей.
Already have plans on how a node road network will be made. Going deeper into this, is there any plan on how to connect different nodes with roads?
Yes. No, roads are a fun, difficult to solve problem that we have a good plan for, where you have a node, there is no roads by itself, right? You got another node over here, and it's like, okay, there's a road, there's a node there. I'm going to, it's, let's say, a level 3 node. I'll get a little dirt path, right? And as the nodes upgrade, that path upgrades too. And as more nodes kind of grow around it, that network creates roads between there.
We even have a system for bridges too.
Вопрос про дороги, как они будут их делать при апгрейде нодов, и, ну, в целом дороги, как вот в обычных играх, их, скорее всего, не будет. То есть изначально, пока нод не апнется, и пока не будет проложен торговый путь между двумя нодами, дорог, в принципе, не будет. Вам придется просто блуждать по горам, по лесам и так далее, и так далее.
And caravans have systems in place that allow them to be better, not road friendly, if need be. Right. And that's kind of the more frontiersy kind of caravans that you'll probably have.
So you choose your caravan based on like the path that you're going to take.
Exactly. You know, if you're running a path from Metropolis to Metropolis, you're going to have these perfect roads the entire way. You may choose not to incorporate the specific material, the specific
like off-roading material.
Караваны будут различаться многим, ну, в общем, караванов будет много различий, и в зависимости от того, какой вы выберете, настолько у вас будет легким или тяжелым путь. есть, если вы знаете, что вам нужен караван от одного метрополиса до другого, где будут идеальные дороги, то надо именно выбрать определенный материал, где он будет быстрее ехать по обычным дорогам, нежели чем материалы, где, которые лучше всего подходят для бездорожья.
We're aware you played Arcade and you've seen the housing development areas and how they can be a Tetris nightmare.
Oh, yeah.
How will freeholds look in ashes?
You know,
there are a lot of games who've done that.
Part of the reason why I wanted to avoid having designated housing areas was because of that Tetris ugliness that just existed in these like track home developments in Arcade, right? That was really not good. So, you know, from the onset, you know, the idea was to make it more freehold.
Well done, Steven.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I'll be here all day. No,
Yes. So, I mean, and the reason for that is because obviously we want it to be more incorporated in the environment, more immersive in that sense. So 480 square kilometers for a map is relatively large. I mean, it's a big area available. So there's going to be considerable space between freeholds, I believe. But if people want to place their freeholds together with friends and whatnot, you know, they'll be able to do that, and perhaps a little hamlet will form, you know.
Right.
And that's kind of cool. Yeah, exactly.
And also keep in mind that freeholds need a node to live. So not
Вопрос был про размещение земельных участков. Будет ли это как в Аркейдже, в виде Тетриса, да, что друг на друге. Но Стивен сказал, что специальных мест, что-то подобного не будет. То есть игроки смогут размещать как угодно. Я не знаю, будет ли проблема, но и говорит, что поскольку территория континента Веры очень большая, то проблем с этим быть, скорее всего, не должно.
This is true. Even in Apocalypse, and no one has found the sandal yet. Yeah. Also, I have a question.
Привет, Спайджан. Да, конечно, у меня записи есть всегда. У меня записи стримов всегда есть и на Твиче, и на Ютубе. Ну, если я и там стримлю, в основном я там и там стримлю.
Good to know. There you go. That would be really cool.
Насчет интересненького нет, особо ничего интересненького не было. Пару вопросов в конце задали, которые я перевел, в основном практически ничего не было.
It'd be like watching Game of Thrones.
Yeah, exactly right. I can't see anything.
I want little bioluminescent lamps next to my bed and stuff like that. Steven.
What? That's
careful with it. No, stop it.
What?
He dies in the first season. Give me a break. Okay.
Oh my gosh. Sorry, everybody. If you haven't watched it yet, I blame him.
Oh no.
So, thank you all for watching. We hope you
В общем, какой-то спойлер, походу, был про Трон.
This month, but we wanted to also do one on our official channel too, and to give you all a little teaser for video.
Но я его не услышал.
Building technology video up. Right after this, I'm going to go put up an article and put the video out live, so you can go check it out.
ПНХ, бро. Конечно, это Бейкон. Тоже еще.
Conspiracy theory, because I know that's what you all do. So follow us over there on our YouTube channel, youtube.com.
Хотя я думаю, сейчас же у них капитан еще появился, вот они вдвоем там с капитаном Тостом работают. Или, может быть, у них там тройничок.
And I guess kind of wrapping things up, thank you from all of us, and thank you for tuning in.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good one.
Ну, как-то так. Ладно. В принципе, ничего интересного не было, кто только подключился. Может быть, какие-то есть вопросы, задавайте. Ну, а в целом, пока информации нет. Может быть... В ближайшее время уже что-то сообщат. Напоминаю, что во втором квартале, то есть у них от второго квартала 2019 года прошел уже целый месяц. Во втором квартале 2019 года, соответственно, планируется старт первой альфы. Вот, ну час уже прошел так-то все-таки. Вот, поэтому да, все, у них по часу идет стримчик. Вот, так что осталось еще 2 месяца до дедлайна. По идее... 30 или какого там 31 июня стоит ожидать старт первой альфы. Ну, по нормам. Да, они ничего не показали, ничего нового нету. Ну, может быть, по старым какие-то у вас вопросы по старым там чему-то есть, я отвечу. Вот, может быть, вас что-то интересует. Давайте я подожду целую минутку. Или даже лучше целых 30 секунд, а то мне не хочется ждать. Вот, ну, представления нет. Конечно, представления нет о том, как игра выглядит. Ну, я как бы играл на нулевой альфе. Вот, я представляю себе более-менее, как это выглядит. Правда, сейчас поменяли боевую систему, но в целом то же самое на самом деле осталось. Вот. Ну, тоже представления особо, если честно, нет. Ладно, вопросов нет. Значит, нет вопросов. Пойду я что-нибудь делать. Всем давайте приятного вечера. Завтра запущу стримчик по Иру, продолжу делать квестики. Если честно, мне уже он надоел, потому что я хочу уже докачаться до чего-то, посмотреть, ну а дальше уже, не знаю, делать, развивать, делать по этой игре видео или нет, хз. Все, давайте, всем пока.